author of Filthy, The Rise and Pending Death of Vic Lagina. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
He said it's unavailable. There it is. He called us right back. It's all right. He called us right back.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm looking for Vic Lagina.
All right.
This is Vic Lagina.
Yeah. It rhymes with vagina. It's Vic Lagina. That's, by the way,
you, gentlemen?
That's one hell of a fucking great name, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful last name.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, so Vic, by the way, has, like I just said, he has a book called Filthy, The Rise and Pending Death of Vic Lagina. Ooh. It's out now. Yeah. You can get your get a copy because it's got some of the best stories about the business, about the porn business, that you could ever want to hear, because this man has been balls deep in the porn business for a shitload of years. All right? You've produced almost 4,000 scenes during your career. Am I correct?
That's correct, yes. And it wasn't just the tips. I was balls deep in the business for quite some time.
Absolutely. Balls deep, and that's the only way to be in the porn business is balls deep.
Oh, yes.
All right, so there's so much stuff to get to, and I know we don't have a shitload of time, but I want to get to a whole bunch of certain parts. Number one.
Okay.
Explain to the audience without giving out too much, because remember, we want them to buy the book. I want to know, how the hell does a guy like you get into the business? Because you didn't start out being in the porn business. So how did you even get into the business?
Okay, well, it always starts with a hot girl that I followed to L.A. My background is all production, and I was always on the more mainstream side of things, like commercials and corporate videos and things like that. That's what my background is. That's what my education is. But I met a hot girl in Miami, and she was going to L.A., and, of course, I follow her, because when hot girls ask you to do things, you just do them.
Exactly. And we just said that about John, Yeah,
and so we did the L.A. thing, and it wasn't easy at all. I mean, it seems like everyone out there wants to get movies and projects made.
Of course.
And she was a model, and she was doing a lot of SAG work as an extra, but then decided to stop because she wanted to be a white female rapper. She wanted to be Eminem. And I thought this was a great idea, and I thought that she had the potential. So I backed it financially and got myself into quite a bit of debt, trying to help her achieve her dreams while sacrificing mine. And, the need to make money is what eventually got me into shooting porn.
So the white M&M with a vagina took all the money from Vic Lagina and left you kind of not having any money. So where did you turn? I mean, having the want and desire, to make money. Of course, we all have it. I definitely live that every fucking day. But where did you turn? What was the circumstances that led you to making your first porno?
Okay, so after accumulating a lot of debt funding both of our dreams in L.A., I answered an ad on adultstaffing.com. There was a young Mexican kid who wanted to shoot his porn feature. And I applied for the job, and he hired me because I bullshitted him that I could do it. And, we got together, and, we knew the basics. Like, back then, features, it was very easy. You rent a porn. How many scenes are there? 5. Okay. And what are they? And, you have a vast array of different kinds of scenes. And you need to shoot softcore. Like, these are all things I kind of knew anyway, because it just didn't seem like it was complicated. And so we went down to Jim South's office, smoky office in the Valley, where we looked over his Polaroids of his women. He couldn't put them on the website. He had Polaroids of them. Wow. And we picked out the 5 women we wanted in Ricardo's porn movie. And we shot 4 of those shoots in one day in a condo in the San Fernando Valley. And that was my first foray into porn.
Wow.
But obviously it wasn't the last.
No.
What was the budget for that movie?
Just curious.
I don't know. I wasn't the dude writing the checks, but he probably spent maybe $10,000 on the whole thing. Would be my guess.
All right, so all we have to do is get $10,000 and we can make our own porno.
Well, I was back then. Now I'm sure it's a lot more.
Well, we'll get Vic Lagina to be the producer, and he'll get the money somehow, and we'll make it happen.
Okay.
We got a plan, Joe. We got a plan.
If that's what you want to do, I mean, I could definitely be your mentor.
See?
And I could do you a hell of a lot better than I did Ricardo, because I don't think his movie ever made it off the ground.
No.
To be honest with you.
See, Ricardo didn't have a plot. We'll come with a plot, Joe.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, you got to have a good story.
Good scenario.
Got to have a good...
Do you really now, though? Do you really need a good story? Is that really important?
Well, Vic, we have this argument here on the show all the time. Me and Joe, the older gentleman behind us. Joe, say hi to Vic.
Hi, Vic.
There you go. Joe, literally, and me, both, I need porn with a plot.
Yeah, me too.
Like, if I'm going to jerk off... to the porno. It can't just be a hot chick. I want to know what's going on. I want that stepmom scene. I want, it's bigger than your dad's. I want all that stuff to be in the movie.
What kind of a massage is it?
Yes.
I see. So you were the reason why my porn shoot days were so long.
Oh, absolutely.
With that horse shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vic was looking at Vic was like, "There's a script? What the fuck?"
Oh, man.
For Christ's sake.
Lots of scripts. We had scripts all the time. And you know what? The talent would be like, fuck, there's a script. Like, most of the time, they didn't really want to deal with scripts.
No, of course not.
Yes.
Your line is, "Oh, my God, it's so big." And ooh, yeah. And then your line is, "Ooh, my ass hurts."
Fuck me, Daddy.
Fuck me, Daddy.
Yeah.
Fuck
all
me.
that actual talk was actually really organic. That actually happened organically.
Yeah.
It was more like the lead up to that. You know, that's what we had to always shoot.
Well, you've worked with some of the best women in the business, so, I mean, they know what they're doing. These are names that are synonymous with, I mean, like, for instance, a friend of mine and friend of Johnny Vegas over here, Lisa Ann, who's a friend of yours as well. I mean, you can't get better than the queen of the MILFs, Lisa Ann, who is a professional to the utmost. So I'm saying, like, you're definitely going to get the cream of the crop. Oh, yeah. And Vic has worked with them all. Like, he has a laundry list of movies. I can't even read. There's so many of them. I can't even fucking read what they are. All right.
Yeah. The list is long. Prolific is the word I guess we should use.
And prolific. It is. Let's say monumental. Let's say a cultural phenomenon that is Vic Lagina, who, by the way, we're talking to right now. Filthy: The Rise and Pending Death of Vic Lagina. Now, you're no longer in the porn business, right? You have walked away. Now, did COVID take you out of the game? Because that's what I'm hearing. I heard that when the COVID era hit, you were like, I'm done.
It wasn't so much the COVID. That was the catalyst, of course, but it was how the business was changing during COVID and the pandemic and the big pendulum shift from OnlyFans to from the studio side of things and content creators and performers making most money. And I think all that is great. But I think there was also the element of I was doing this for a very long time, 20 years, and just the shit was just getting too thick from the top to bottom, from the people giving us our marching orders, which were the people in Montreal, then MindGeek. Mm-hmm. And then, you have my crew who they were good. And we always did a great job, but, people always find things to complain about and why their job sucks and why they don't get paid enough. And then you have to deal with the performers who, you have your hand, you have the most professional. And then you have the ones who are the complete opposite of that.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, I know.
Life very difficult.
Yeah.
So imagine juggling all of those balls for months and years. Eventually, something is going to break. And I think I chose sanity over profit after a certain point, especially when the trouble of producing a porn was just becoming too complicated for this old fellow.
I had a friend of mine. He was in L.A. for a while. He worked on a couple of movies here and there, and he said there was one they're doing the whole setup. The girl, the main star, who was like a big name at the time, she was like crabby or whatever. She said, "Well, if I got to get naked, everybody else has to get naked too, or I'm leaving." So like. Everything that got shot that day had to be done. Everybody standing around and naked.
Cameraman too.
Everybody, the caterer,
she won, huh?
All the way down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some big fat fucking grip that's working there with a tiny piece of deal had to get naked because the starlet got fucking angry.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, this is why
What year was this?
What year was it?
What year was this? I'm curious.
I would say early 90s.
Oh, wow. Okay, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Were you there, Billy?
Yeah, there was really none of that crazy shit. I mean, we started getting some of the diva mentality was always there, I guess you could say, because, those who were making the sales and generating traffic, I mean, we basically had to put up with their nonsense a lot, and usually the bigger the star, the bigger the train wreck. Not always, but that just seemed to be the case. But overall, I'd say people generally weren't as ridiculous as that sounds, as making sure everyone's naked.
Everybody's getting naked, or we're not doing this interview anymore. God damn it, get naked, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask this question. Off of Billy's frickin' point with everyone getting naked because the starlet threw a temper tantrum, for Vic Lagina, what is the greatest porn moment for you, and what's your, the most horrible porn moment for you?
So those are very loaded questions because they're all contained kind of in the book. But
yes,
I guess you could say that the greatest porn moments were when you're dealing with so many variables against you, and yet you still are able to achieve the objective, which is delivering the porn baby for the masses. Those are the good moments. That's like we got the job done, despite all the bad things. I mean, I detail a few of the things that go sideways.
Yeah.
When you have a couple of your performers get arrested by the cops and you've got no guy to have sex with the women. That has happened before, and I had to pull a rabbit out of my ass, which I was able to do. So you have those days, or you have the big projects.
That was a good scene.
Big, massive live orgies.
That was a good scene when Vic pulls a rabbit right out of his ass. That was a great movie. Yeah. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the rabbit was dead, but it was a good movie.
When you have these crazy live sex orgies where you're just trying to get to the end, and you do. Like those are the great moments, and that's when you feel like you did a good job.
I wanted to ask you about didn't you have? Let's just say that this is a rumor that I heard. Did you or did you not have a wild sex orgy in your pool where it got so fucking loud and crazy that the cops had to come?
Yes, well, that is the prologue of the book. And that was when I shot Brazzers Live 17 poolside pounding, where there was an orgy of 8 people live on the internet. And it did get loud. I mean, we shot for about an hour and a half, and after we wrapped and everything was done and we cut the feed, I started hearing these voices. Sir, hello, is there anyone back there? It's Las Vegas' finest. And they're like, could you come talk to us, please? And I'm like, sure. All right, everyone, just let you know the cops are here. Everything's cool. Let me go talk to them. And they're like, whatever. So I talked to them, the cops, and they said it was because a neighbor called the cops because of excessive profanity in my backyard.
Yeah, but it's in your backyard.
I said, look, yeah, but well, he doesn't live there anymore. He sold to someone else, thankfully, but he was kind of an uptight fellow. And
you think?
He didn't like hearing fuck my dirty cornhole while he's lounging by his pool with his wife.
That was just the catering guy. That wasn't even one of the stars.
Hey, what happens if it happens in Vegas? It stays in Vegas.
That was the prologue. But
what if you're Vic? What if you're the guy in your backyard, right? And you're fucking your wife or your girlfriend or whoever, or one of John's exes, whoever it is, and you're having sex with them, and you fucking, and she screams out, "Fuck me in my dirty cornhole," And you're in your backyard. What the? So the cops didn't do anything, right?
No, of course they were like, okay, listen. They were very mindful of the fact they told me which neighbor it was.
Of course.
And they just said, look, just try to keep your parties down to a reasonable level. But the funny thing is anytime I've dealt with cops, there's always 4 of them. They always come 4 of them to a porn shoot. Not 1, 4. So,
free preview.
Yeah, because two get called and the other 2 want to see the porn stars. I understand how it works.
Yeah.
Always bring a friend.
Yeah, they want to see some boobies.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't?
Yeah, they want to see some boobies.
Miss, we need to check you for ID.
That actually happened, too. We were shooting a car wash scene. I think it was Romy, Rain, and Kiss of Sins.
Ooh.
And they were wearing white shirts with no bras, and we were doing a car wash thing, and a neighbor caught a glimpse of that. Now, mind you, there was no actual boobie, just a
wet T-shirt
wet shirt over the boobies. And then the cops come, and they did. What are you doing? I was like, well, we're shooting a calendar. Yeah, calendar. And they're like, okay. And then they just wanted to get IDs. And they said, look, you got to be mindful of the neighbors. And I always had a saying.
Vic,
do you? Shooting in houses, you're only as strong as your biggest asshole neighbor.
Absolutely. We just found out that Vic lives in the fucking cockblock section of Vegas.
Oh, damn.
Like, I thought Vegas was freewheeling. I've been to Vegas numerous times. Not one time did anyone stop for a boob. Like, not one time.
Yeah. Apparently, we shot in some houses, including mine, where we had an uptight neighbor, and that was why I got studios eventually.
That's crazy to me. That is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
John, did you have a question for the man, the myth, the legend, Vic Lagina?
His name, where did it come from? I mean, that's a very...
it's Latin name. For Vic Lagina.
What's the origins of that?
Okay, so my first porn name, when I was on that set with Ricardo, it was originally Ned Wood, which I thought was very funny.
That's very
good. Over everyone's head. No one got the joke.
Yeah.
And then, back then, this was the early 2000s, I thought the mafia was running the porn industry. So I was like, well, I got to have an Italian-sounding name. So I went with Vic, and then it was kind of like throwing Minnelli out there. Like, Minnelli, that sounds nice in Italian. No one's going to fuck with me, that kind of deal. And then my buddy, the senator, who comes up with these very amazing but useless gifts of wordplay, and he says, if you ever become a pornographer, you got to become Vic Lagina. And so I did. And, he might have come up with the name, and I ran with it and made the motherfucker come to life.
There you go.
It is one of the names that echoes through the hallways of fucking time when it comes to porn names. I mean, I've heard there's a guy named Seymour Butts that's been around for freaking a while, but Vic Lagina is a name that, like, because it sounds almost too good to be true. Like, you don't know if it's fake, you don't know if it's real. Like, you mean, like, Seymour Butts, know, is a fake fucking name. It's stupid, it's a fake fucking name. But Vic Lagina sounds like it's an actual guy that didn't switch the V in the L.
Yeah, I think I went to school.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could have went to a school with Vic Lagina. Do you know what I'm saying? That's a normal thing.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it was also, I had to kind of portray how I feel about the business in general, which is you can't take it seriously at all. So I felt my name should reflect that, and I think it did. The best was when people were like Vic Lagina or Vic Lagina or all these. I'm like, dude, you're missing the point.
Dude, that literally happened today. I asked Lainey, the publicist. And because she's a friend of mine, I said, is it Lagina like vagina? Just to make sure, because I didn't want to, you mean like I got the joke as soon as I read the name, but I wanted to make sure that I was reading the right thing. So I didn't want to be like, and on the phone we got Vic Lagina, who's on the, you mean like it sounds stupid. You know what I mean? Like Vic Lagina, great fucking porn name. Speaking of funny asshole things to do, did you, yet again, here's another rumor that I heard about, the audio book. Did you record it high on acid?
Only a portion of it, okay?
Only a portion. Only a portion. Couple of chapters.
Yeah. Okay, let me explain my whole process here. So when it came to recording it, I was completely sober for 37 out of the 40 days, and the 37 days were consecutive sobriety. No weed, which is very hard, and no booze and anything. And it was a very straight read because that's kind of how I operated when I was shooting. Very straight, very stoic, not really showing much emotion, just being straight. But then there was the inside voice. He's the crazy motherfucker that is blurting out what everyone is thinking, including myself, but I couldn't say it because you have to remain calm and stoic. So when it came to reading those lines, and there are ample of them, the first night was wine and a little bit of weed, so it was very mellow. And then the next day we went higher amperage with some fentanyl-free cocaine, with some booze. And I got out of that recording session out of my walk-in closet sweating bullets because I was going so amped. But then I was like, do I have enough? Maybe. But then the next morning around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, I think I need to do an acid read. And so I popped a hit of acid and then went back in the closet. 2.5 hours just recorded nonstop. And I think there was about 5 personalities birthed in that closet.
That's fucking hilarious.
So, well, look, I wanted the audiobook to be an experience that was separate from the print book. The print book, it's its own thing. It can stand on its own. And I put a lot of thought and work into that to make sure it's a package that people will enjoy reading. But the audiobook is where it's at, for sure.
By the way, beautiful cover, by the way. Filthy, the rise and pending death of Vic Lagina, probably from all the acid he did. But this artwork on the front cover is a beautiful cover, dude. That is a gorgeous cover.
Thank you. That was an artist I met on Jam Cruise, which is a bunch of hippies on a boat listening to a bunch of jam bands. And it was a girl named Breeze, and she gave me a sticker, and I dug her style and stayed in touch with her. And I said, "Hey, do you want to design the cover for my book of porn?" And she's like, "Absolutely." So she did it, and she nailed it. She did exactly what I was hoping she would do, and then some.
Well, she did exceptionally well. So between you having this actual book where you can read about the inside stuff that goes on in the wonderful world of porn, you can also get the audio book where you can try to figure out which lines he's high on acid with. So it's a great game to play at home.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And, well, he's also on. He was also on coke. He's on coke on some of the read. He's on acid on some of the read. The only thing you didn't. Did you smoke weed during this or no?
I did. That was the first night. It was more wine and weed, of like breaking sobriety and like keeping it more chill and more mellow.
Like, guess my drug.
Because we needed to.
That is actually a good name, Guess My Drug.
Guess My Drug.
Welcome to Guess My Drug. We have Vic Lagina on the phone. We don't know what he's on right now.
That's right.
Just weed.
Oh, just weed? Well, then you're like Joe. Joe, how much weed did you smoke during the show so far?
Countless.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Joe likes to smoke a little herb in the studio, so we should get you guys together, and you should have a weed off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
It was so wild. It was so wild not smoking weed for 37 days or whatever it was that I wasn't smoking, because it's been part of my life for daily for a long time. So I was good. I could do it. I felt proud of myself that I could do it.
Well, we're proud of you, too. You wrote a good book, sir.
Yes, sir.
You did well.
Thank you.
You were high. Give a round of applause for Vic Lagina.
Yes, sir.
I want to keep saying lick vagina, but that's not right.
That would have been the name.
Yes, and give me another round of applause for Ned Wood.
Ned Wood.
Yeah, that's good, too.
Okay.
All right, on that note, Vic, thank you for being on the program. Everyone, by the way, the name of the book, one more time, is Filthy, The Rise and Pending Death of Vic Lagina. Get your copy now. Go ahead, Vic.
And real quick, if you go to my website, viclagina.com, you'll see a trailer for the book. The trailer has boobies in it.
Boobies?
And, it kind of encapsulates. Yeah, if you want to see some boobies, just go check out the trailer. But if you want to get like a visual of what the book is like, what the experience is like, I would say watch that. The guy who played me was a guy named. So I had a Hollywood actor play me, and I played someone else, and a lot of porn stars in it. Some boobies, so check it out there, and you can. I'm
going to watch it right now during the commercial break. I'm definitely going to watch the trailer for Filthy: The Rise and Pending Death of Vic Lagina. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Vic Lagina. For more information, go to viclagina.com. Watch the trailer, see some boobies, learn more, get the book. That's what you have to do right now. All right, Vic, thank you for being on the program, bro. Anytime you want to come back, feel free, all right?
You got it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Vic Lagina, come on. Let's do it. What a guy. Live the life.
The back of the book, too, looks really nice.
The whole thing looks pretty. He did well. Oh, yeah. He did very nice. All right, so here's, by the way, before we go to break, we don't have a WTF news. We're just going